Hey, you. Thanks for joining me. So, I often am hit by a sense of dread with fall. And I don't know 100% why this is. I think part of it has to do with the looming winter that is signaled with the shorter days and the colder temperatures. And then I think, honestly, part of it is probably from back when I was needing to go to school and just those memories of like fall signaling a time of extreme structure and a lack of freedom. I think for me there's something in my brain that just fall, even though I'm an adult who's not in school, I have fall as a reminder of that time internally. Regardless of all the reasons that fall fills me with dread, I'm sure I'm missing some. Uh, I'm just not meeting fall with a lot of enthusiasm, but I want to. I want to be someone who enjoys fall. I have been so envious of people who really like fall. Um, and so I figured, why not try to reframe my associations with fall a little bit? So I thought, you know what? Let's do that. So this video is going to consist of me talking about the things that I like about fall and the things that I've been telling myself to try to reframe my perspective a bit, as well as some of the pictures and videos that I've gotten myself to take over the last few days to try to focus on the beauty of fall. So you'll hear my voiceover and you'll see my amateur photography skills. So let's dive in. I just want to acknowledge that I do have the privilege of living in a place where fall really is a season. It is fickle. Um, Fall can come at any time in September, October-ish, and it can end very rapidly. There's been many snowy Halloweens. And while, like, yes, technically by a calendar definition, that is still fall, does not feel like fall. Once there's snow, no, I'm sorry. You have gone from fall to winter. That's so yeah. It can be unpredictable. It comes at me, and I haven't really been, like, prepared for it, and then it's like, "Oh, it's gone." Um, but I think I've been looking at this wrong because fall's short lifespan does not mean that I should be mentally killing fall while it's alive. I should be savoring every gifted day that I have with it. I don't think that it's fall that I dread, but rather the associations with fall that I've been having in my head. And these associations with things that are not the fault of autumn. And I can choose to just accept these associations, or I can try to change the networking of my brain a little bit to embrace more of these positives, starting with food. I love fall harvest foods. Pumpkins, apples, baking, and soups feel so cozy and delicious. There are also positives to some of the dropping temperatures, such as I can cook with the oven, with the stove, without worrying about heating up the house too much. I don't have AC, so in the summer, sometimes that is actually a consideration for what food I end up making. I will also say that a warm beverage is so much more satisfying on a cooler fall day than it is on a hot summer day. The color palette of fall is also just awesome, as you can probably see from these pictures already. Oh my gosh, it is lovely. It is changing, like, every day. So, it's just, like, this constant evolution of the same thing that you could look at, and every single day it's gonna be a little bit different. It's kinda neat, and I love, like, the natural color palette that I'm showing in these pictures, but I also love the like, orange and black Halloween color palette. Like, I am all for a holiday that has black as, one of its main colors. Yes, please. And it's kind of a cool, like, last hurrah to this life that has been on trees. And then it's also kinda cool that, like, as tree leaves can decompose, they can actually help with the soil. There's, like, this beauty to decay in fall. Like, there's the smell and the looks, it's nice. Next, I just want to acknowledge how satisfying it is to watch a leaf fall from a tree. I know it's not super rare, but I appreciate it pretty much every single time that it happens. Once these leaves have fallen and the trees are more barren, then we have some of those sweet, sweet fall leaf crunchies. I love it. I love stepping on leaves when they're crunchy, and it's such a satisfying sound. Crunchy leaves for the win. I can't attach a strong temperature identity to fall because it's so fickle, but it is at least more suitable than the summer usually is for just wearing cozier clothes and feeling hugged by loose layers. Being able to just like put on a sweater and then taking it off if it gets too hot, like that is lovely temperature. I also will shout out that there are less bugs and mosquitoes. We also had a pretty strong wasp year this year. They've been less present lately. I haven't really seen them around very much. So that's been kind of nice. I don't want to hate on wasps too hard because I think they are still pollinators, but ugh, they can be a pain. Another thing that I love is that it shows how quick change can be. One day, tree leaves are a bright green, and the next thing you know, they are just confetti on the ground. The unpredictable nature of fall and the short nature of fall can give me all the more reason to soak it in and enjoy the time that we have with it, that we're fortunate enough to have with it. I also have to remember that life cycles happen all the time. There's no good, bad, whatever. It just is. So as some animals have already left the area, there are birds and other animals that do still choose to call where I live home and look perfectly fine. So there's two main fall holidays that come to mind for me, one being Thanksgiving, which in Canada is earlier in October, and also Halloween. Um, Thanksgiving's cool. I can appreciate the being thankful side of things and celebrating food that is kind of in season. I think that's really cool. But Halloween for me probably overshadows Thanksgiving a little bit. I just think it's a really fun holiday or celebration, whatever you wanna call it. There are aspects of Halloween that I don't totally love, such as the waste that can be associated with it, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to choose to highlight some of the things that I do enjoy about it, such as the dark and spooky decorations, the endless costume options, the communal aspect of trick or treating, that it's a time to lean into fear and morbidity and things that we don't normally talk about. And it's also a great time to watch sort of spookier, darker movies. It's a celebration that can really be enjoyed in so many different ways, depending on what your preference is, even if you don't like being scared and stuff like that. Just a very chill holiday that you can even enjoy just by looking. Like, you don't have to really actively participate to take in the views and the vibes of Halloween. Nothing changes in complete unison. The same tree can have so many different colors, and the same plants can be going through similar changes at different speeds. It's kind of cool to see that. Although I don't love the days being a lot shorter in terms of sunlight, I can appreciate that with these shorter days, I do feel less guilty when I'm cozy and inside. I think it's good to take in the sunlight when we can get it, but I also do like not being hounded by guilt for sitting down and relaxing while the sun is still out. So it appears that I may have been a bit harsh about fall. There are things that I do like about autumn, and this exercise has been a great way of reminding myself of that. I'm going to challenge myself going forward to do two things. One being that I'm going to try and be more proactive and intentional about doing fall themed activities and taking up the things that are only available to do in the fall. And then, secondly, I'm going to try to make sure I acknowledge the things that I do like about fall when I see or experience them. And that acknowledgement might be out loud, it might be by capturing it on camera, or it might be by reflecting on it in a journal. So hopefully, if you already like fall, this video has just validated your feelings about fall further. And if you struggle with fall, just know I get it. The changes associated with fall and the shorter days can really be a struggle. But hopefully, this video helped you to reflect on if there are some aspects of fall that you do actually enjoy and that those might be helpful to celebrate. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.